What's going on, guys? It's Screech here, and today we are coming at you with another deck profile, once again on a Saturday, a roundup of my locals, which I won again. 4 weeks in a row I've won now. Last week I played pretty competitive, the week before I played pretty competitive, the week before I played a deck that I was just very confident with. This week and next week, because I've already decided, I was just playing for fun. Just playing to enjoy myself, playing decks I enjoy. There's no major tournaments to come up right now, and that's the best advice I can give you. If you're a pretty competitive player and you want to always win, sure, go for it, play of that. But if you're just a casual player, or even a casual player that likes to go to tournaments and that, right now is the perfect time to just have fun. You've got nothing to prepare for, no regionals coming up, no nationals, world, anything. Maybe you've got a winner box or something like that. Maybe your OTS store's doing something like that. But right now we're just sort of stocking up OTS packs for when lockdown finishes. And I just decided that, you know what, I'm slowly going to go through every deck that I own and enjoy myself. So I decided today I'm going to enjoy myself, and I'm going to play a deck that I really enjoy, which is Cyber Dragons. And if I go 0-3, I go 0-3. But I didn't go 0-3. I went 3-0 and won the locals again. So the story that's just how the story ends. So without further ado, this is the deck profile. This is Cyber Dragons, which I played today without machine dupe because I'm big dum-dum, and when I was crafting this deck last night, I was looking through it and I was like, I've got room for like 1 or 2 more cards. I added a few more one-offs, you know, the spicy like one-offs that are limited on the list. And then when I was playing today after game 1, I was searching the Galaxy Soldier. I was going through my deck and I was like, just forgot machine dupe, didn't I? Just straight forgot machine dupe. Which doesn't mean the deck's bad, but if you are going to sort of net deck this, I would recommend that you only play 2 of these Cyber Dragons instead of 3. You only play 3 optimally when you play machine dupe, which is obviously what I was going for, but I just forgot to play the machine dupes. So 3 copies of Cyber Dragon. Not really going to talk much about the prices right now because everything is pretty cheap in this deck. Everything you can get in common, maybe bar, you know, when we come to all of the stapley stuff. 3 core, this is your searcher when he's normal summoned. He gets to add any cyber spell or trap. You can add Rev System, Repair Plan, Emergency. He also searches Cyber Load Fusion, which is something that we opted to play. He's really good, and of course he has the effect Engrave where he can banish to spec a Cyber Dragon if you control no cards and your opponent does. So he becomes basically Cyber Dragon in the grave as well. We're going to plonk those just slightly off the camera there. Rounding up the Cyber Dragon monsters, 3 copies of Hertz, 2 copies of Nashta. These go hand in hand together. Hertz is better than Nashta. Nashta is your special summon. You discard a machine monster, I believe. Is it a machine monster or is it a light monster for this? Oh no, it's just 1 monster. Sorry. You just discard 1 monster to special summon him, and then he can revive any machine with 2100 attack from the grave. So he basically revives any, you know, Cyber Dragon, Nova, Infinity, Ziga, Rampage. I think that's all he revives. But more importantly, you know, it's just a free body on the board. If you don't opt for the special summon effect, you aren't locked into machines, which is always nice. Hertz, when it's discarded to the grave, does actually let you add a Cyber Dragon from your deck or grave to your hand. And this other effect just doesn't really come up, so we're just not going to talk about it. Put those over there. A few more techie cards, should you say, or cards that you play that aren't actually Cyber Dragons. Double Galaxy Soldier, double Juzakiru. This is a searchable machine kaiju, which means not only is it a searchable kaiju to out anything like Dragoon and stuff like that, but more importantly, it can be contact fused, which means, you know, you're not actually then having to deal with the fact that it's 3300. Galaxy Soldier lets you discard it, specifically a light for this one, in order to special summon it, and then when it's summoned, you get to add a Galaxy card, which is just another copy of itself. They're also level 5 machines, help you make Nova Infinity real quick. That's it for most of the techie monsters. From now, it's just the generic stuff that you play in every deck. We opted for 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Although it's not a light and can't be discarded, it is still the best hand trap in the game. And I opted for double effect Veiler. I opted for these over Imperms because it's another light monster. And it put in work today. It actually did. It's such a bad hand trap, to be fair. But it really did put in the work today at stopping stuff for my opponent. The one problem I did have with it is, of course, you can only use it during your opponent's main phase. And there was one moment where I was facing down an El Shadoll window and couldn't out it. I had this in hand, but it just was like, it was just doing nothing. So that's all the hand traps we opted to play. And the last but not least, the Dragoon package. We are playing Verti Anaconda. It is a very good card, so Red Eyes and Dark Magician is in here as well. Moving on to the spells, triple copies of Cyber Emergency. It is your searcher. It adds any light machine monster that cannot be normal summoned or set. Quick little ruling for you. Jizukiru can be normal summoned, just requires tributes. Galaxy Soldier can be normal summoned, just requires tributes. So it can't search them, but it also searches any Cyber Dragon card. Searches your core, Hertz, Nashta, Vanilla Cyber Dragon. It searches any of those. It can search Cyber Elton, which if you are a fan of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Monopoly series, you'll know is a card that grew on me. It really did. From there, we are playing a couple of one-offs. Harpy's Feather Duster, one of the best one-offs in the game. Regeki, we just sort of had room to play these. Repair Plant, Rev System, only opt in for one of each of these. They are searchable, and they can just brick your hand if you play multiples of them. Repair Plant is good, but it's just not as good as Emergency, so I only opted to play one. However, this can actually search any light machine. This searches your Galaxy Soldier. This searches your Jizukiru. And this revives any special summons any Cyber Dragon from the grave or hand, I believe. So it's a nice extender. From there, now is your expensive stuff. Triple Droplets, Triple Prosperity. Prosperity. You're going second most of the time, and this is one of the best going second cards in the game, especially because you can just put up damage. The fact that you can use this and discard like 3 and then still be able to OTK making something like Rampage or Dragoon is really, really good. Pot of Prosperity does half your damage, but it just digs for that last card, and sometimes you just need that last card, and ending on Infinity Dragoon or something like that is still enough interaction on your opponent's turn to survive if you don't OTK. Fusion cards, I opted for 4. Double Overload Fusion, Cyberload Fusion, Red Eyes Fusion. Fusion. It is the aim of the deck. It is the aim of the game. Really good, really consistent. I really didn't like this card at first, but it is growing on me slowly but surely after you resolve this. After playing this deck today, you make Verte Anaconda way too much. So much that I think I might even play 2. Not just because some people play 2 in case they negate the Red Eyes Fusion and you can do it again, and that's more for decks that play multiple Red Eyes Fusions. I'm just thinking because you just make it every turn. You just make it every turn and send one of these. It's not a brick to open the Overload Fusion. I used to play 3 of these, 1 of these. Then I changed to 3-1-1. 2-1-1 is pretty much the best ratio I can actually come up with right now. Need to get another ulti. This ulti is such a nice ulti, by the way. And that's 39 cards. Last card in the deck is another searchable card. Cybernetic Overflow. Mass non-targeting removal, by the way. Mass non-targeting removal. For the extra deck, double copies of Infinity, obviously to pair it, double copies of Nova. Did get placed against Dogmatika Eldritch today, who Maximused me, and I sent Novas to summon some Fusion-y boys. Does come up, is something to know that you are pretty self-prepared already for the Dogmatika matchup. From there, we go to the Fusions, Mega Fleet and Fortress Dragon are your 2 contact fused targets. Rampage is your main OTK boy. You do this with the Overload Fusion. For those of you who don't know what this does, it's on 2100. When it's summoned, it pops spells and traps up to the number of fusion materials used for it, which is at least 2. So if you banish 2, it gets to pop 2 spells and traps, which is broken. If you're playing a more pure build, you can pop your own Cyber Network and get a bunch of special summons off it. More importantly, you can send up to 2 light machines from your deck to the grave, and it can attack that many times. You can also send Hertz, which will get you Cyber Dragon, which is a free discard for your last thing, which is Dragoon, of course. He's the MVP of the format. He is the be-all, end-all. The card is so good. So upset. I had 3 of these in a Guru build that played Extrav, and I sold them, and then Prosperities came out. Now they've skyrocketed in price. Links, Almirage, IP Masquerena, Verte, Sega. IP Masquerena is just generic. Almirage is there for when you make core, so you can make sure that you get your repair plant and it's live. Verte, MVP of the day, MVP of the game, MVP of everything. Ziga didn't make it today, but would never cut it. And then I opted for Halcyon Access. Will change this probably to maybe like Appaloosa, another Verte, and a Nightmare Phoenix or something, because the second Verte, it comes up. He kind of sits on the board, like, just chilling at 500 attack. You can suck him up with your own Infinity as a part of, like, the basic combo where you make Infinity Dragoon, or Infinity Rampage Dragoon, or something along those lines. But not gonna lie, he's just so good, especially in a deck like this that's heavily fusion-based. Side deck, really proud of this side deck. This side deck came in clutch today. Probably because I saw a side deck card pretty much every game I sided it in, and I saw the exact side deck card I wanted, but pretty good. So triple copies of Denko Sekka. Like I said, your only normal summon realistically is Core. You can normal Hurts, you can normal Nashty, you can normal other things. But against those heavy back row decks, you can just spec a Cyber Dragon, normal the Sekko, and then your opponent's in a situation. And you can just basically then go from there. So, you know, special Cyber Dragon, normal Denko, maybe you then go emergency search Nashta, or, you know, maybe they're playing machines, you can contact fuse. Basically, once you've got your Denko on the board, you kind of want to turbo into an Anaconda or something like that. Triple copies of the Winged Dragon of Wrath Sphere Mode. This is not in order for some reason. Didn't come up, and honestly, after today, it could just be, I mean, your side deck is totally local dependent, but honestly, I really thought this was going to be the MVP of the day, and I never needed to side it in once. I played 2 Shadolls and a Bird Up. It does nothing against Bird Up because it's not a wind, of course. And against the Shadolls, both of them just had a lot of back row. Had the El Shadoll fusions, the normal Shadoll fusions, and most of the time did all of their stuff on my turn, which means pretty pointless. So, wouldn't recommend. We are already maining the Duster, so we got room to play the 2 Cosmics. For those that you know me, my ratio is usually a 2 Cosmics and a Duster for every side deck, if you main or not. And then MVP of the day, we played the big Artifact Engine. Triple copies of Sanctum, 1 copy of Scythe, and then triple copies of Lancia. Lancia is just a good generic card as it is, and should be in your side deck anyway. And the Artifact Scythe and Sanctum is pretty good as well. What else helps this is it's level 5 light, so drawing it isn't the end of the world, and the fact that it's level 5, you know, if you're opting for a more casual build or something else, it means you can play different rank 5s, because of course Nova requires specifically machines. But that was it, that was the deck. Like I said, I 2-0'd Shadoll, I 2-1'd Shadoll Dogmatika, and then I 2-0'd Bird Up. Didn't really have too many problems. Shadoll Dogmatika was the biggest problem, and just a few lucky draws won me the game. Realistically, I shouldn't have won, but I top-decked Droplets in Game 1, I misplayed Game 2, and then Game 3 I top-decked Duster at the ideal time. It is what it is. Big thanks to everyone at the store for letting me win. I'm winning every week. Every week we're winning now. Don't think I'll win next week. Next week will be a nice, fun, casual deck again. Less of the competitive stuff. But if you enjoyed the video, you should leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We upload deck profiles every Saturday, and we upload Monopoly every Wednesday. It has just had its repeat, and if you're interested in Cyber Dragon decks and how I made them, and, you know, just anything Cyber Dragon-ish related, you should probably check out the Monopoly series. It's doing really well right now, and we've just had that hard reboot. We are doing it, of course, on Cyber Dragons. But it's been your boy Screech, guys. Peace!